How's your joy? Find out why that's an essential question in this episode of 5 Minutes Closer. I'm Vaughn Weatherford, and this is 5 Minutes Closer. For the next 5 minutes, let's explore some biblical truths and apply them to your life. No podcast, including this one, can transform your life or give you what you really need. Only Jesus can do that. You can find out why in what I've called the first five episodes of 5 Minutes Closer. Each following episode explores scriptural truths that, if you follow them, will bring you 5 minutes closer to the person God created you to be. Let's see if we can get you 5 minutes closer. I suppose we have all gone through the trauma of bringing home a report card to mom and dad. We want our parents to be proud of us, but for some reason we just can't tell an isosceles triangle from a frozen popsicle. And as a result, the old geometry grade ain't what it ought to be. And why do the terrible grades always seem to be printed in a more prominent ink than the others? At least that's the way it always looked to me. All the good grades were printed so lightly they were barely legible, and that one bad grade stuck out like a sore thumb. Just wasn't much fun. But then there were those times when your report card was actually pretty good. Your mom and dad stuck it up on the refrigerator so you could boast to your brothers and sisters. There's nothing like the sense of accomplishment in being able to give your parents a good report card. John had received a report card of sorts. It was a report concerning his friend Gaius. But this was a good report card, and John finds great joy in it. He describes it in the 3rd and 1st verse of 3 John. There the Bible says, "For I rejoiced greatly when the brothers came and testified to your truth, as indeed you are walking in the truth. I have no greater joy than to hear that my children are walking in the truth." John addressed the letter that we call 3 John to a man named Gaius. John received exciting news about his friend, and it brought John joy to hear that Gaius was walking in the truth. Looking inside someone's heart and seeing their relationship with the Lord is impossible for us as humans, but there are indications of a right relationship with God. One of the best is the way that we live. Our actions should reflect our faith. John received this report from a man named Demetrius that he talks about in verse 12, a report that include glowing words about Gaius. Now notice, Gaius was not saved by those good works. Instead, his actions reveal what Jesus has done in his life. Gaius' life brings great joy to John, for in what he hears that Gaius is doing, he sees that his friend is walking in the truth of Jesus. Specifically, Gaius has shown hospitality to fellow Christians and traveling ministers in his community. In this, John takes great joy. John describes the faithfulness of Gaius a lot like ping pong balls on mousetraps. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google it. Someone somewhere made a video of ping pong balls that they had balanced on hundreds of mousetraps. They then drop another ping pong ball into the room. That sets off one of the traps, sending the ping pong ball flying onto another trap, which flies to another trap and another. And in a fast forward chain reaction, all of the ping pong balls immediately fly across the room. Joy resulting from a life lived for Christ is like that. That kind of joy is infectious. John knew that the joy Gaius had created would spread throughout the church, just as it had for him. What are you spreading? How about spreading some joy by living for Jesus today? You can, because now you're 5 minutes closer. My prayer is that these 5 minutes have challenged you, inspired you, and caused you to consider applying God's message for your life from His Word. To find out more, visit our website at 5minutescloser.com. Join me next time to see if we can get you 5 minutes closer.